All right. 7 a.m. on a Sunday. Hey, listen, you got to get ready. You got to be prepared for it. You never know when it's coming. So let's start here with the court case. So obviously, if you guys read my breakdown, my analytics of this entire complaint, you guys can see that in my other videos. The video that I posted a little bit earlier, it's a standalone video, like 15 minutes, and it really breaks down the rationale here for denying Disney's motion to dismiss and why that's correct under Florida law, why that's what I predicted and what I called out, exactly what I called out for exactly the reasons that I called out, which is just essentially that this is state law. So you can go through and get that analysis. But what I want to focus on and really drill down on is the argument that's going to bleed over into the federal case, and why this is going to why and how this is going to impact the federal case. Marco Reality, welcome to the BLM. Welcome to the Based Legal Mindset. You're now a member of the RPG, the Replay Gang. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Also, King of Diet Coke. I just saw on the back end you gifted 20 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, guys. Make sure you are accepting the Legal Mindset memberships. King of Diet Coke also went through and said, War of the Wokes. Yes, yes, very much. So hail BLM, hail BLM, hail RPG. Good to see everybody else in the chat. All right, and then the super chat here is from Mexican Iron Man. It says, just woke up, getting coffee con tequila. I added that. Let me know what time you want the brown dude to show up. Yeah, dude, if you could show up maybe 15 minutes or so, I think we can rock and roll. We can really talk about this and do that. So, yeah, pour that Casamigos in your cup and get ready to go. Remember, Mark Reality said, I thought I was already a member. The heck? Here's the thing, guys, about the memberships. You sometimes have to manually update it. YouTube is being really weird. They're not automatically updating it or keeping you around or whatever else. So just make sure that, hey, if you were a member, maybe you subscribe and or just check and make sure you're still subscribed. Yeah, it's really weird. They do that sometimes with different platforms. Could be a credit card thing. Could be a update. Could be they just don't want me to make any money. All right, so... And hail Frank Hernandez. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And hail all of the Based Legal Mindset. So let's jump into this argument. This is the argument that pertains to the federal case. So when we talk about, okay, how is the state case related to the federal case, right? Because this is the state case. This is the Orange County, Florida state case where the district, the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District, is suing Disney. So this is the district filing in court aggressively as the plaintiff against Disney to prove their backdoor deals were illegal and void from the start. So therefore, they were never valid agreements. And the entire basis for their federal complaint, except for one possible cause of action. So out of all the causes of action in the federal complaint, all of them, but maybe one, are hinged upon these contracts. So if they're not legitimate, they can't enforce them. Therefore, their federal contract goes away. So the judge says right here that Disney is not entitled to go forward with the federal case at the same time as the state case because this is state law. This is an obvious issue of state law. Anybody who knows anything about state law knows that this is state law. It's like the most quintessential thing. If you ask an attorney what type of law is very much state law, they'll say property law. Property law is quintessentially state law. Also quintessentially state law is state statutes. And this is dealing with multiple state statutes. And these agreements were formed under state statutes. That is, laws that were passed by the legislature. And when it's state-specific law, it's not appropriate for a federal court to be looking at it. And when the parties are two Florida parties, why is the federal court involved in this? They should not be. They drummed up some fake constitutional claims, some BS arguments in order to get them into federal court because they thought they might have a more friendly judge. They thought they might have a biased judge. And by the way, the case was initially assigned to a biased judge, Judge Walker. It was only after a while that he recused himself, stepped out of that, and it got handed to what appears to be a fairly unbiased judge in the federal case now. But the state court went and said conclusively that this is something where state law applies. See right here, it says federal courts are of limited original subject matter jurisdiction and only to federal question and diversity jurisdiction. Thus, the federal court's jurisdiction would be concurrent with this court's jurisdiction only if the claims arose under federal law or if the district and Disney were citizens of different states. Neither is true. Disney's claims arise solely under Florida state law. And both the district and Disney are citizens of Florida. This is what I have been saying forever, and the judge is saying it. And what this means is the federal court is going to have to look at this, because the federal court has to look at this and say, okay, is it state or is it federal? Well, the state thinks it's a state claim, and the state's going forward. So therefore, the only action for them to do is to stay the case at the federal level, at least stay it in the majority of the counts which apply to these agreements. There's one count, one single count, the First Amendment claim directly from DeSantis to DeSantis against Disney. It's the weakest of their arguments. It's one that's likely to be thrown out altogether. They might not even have standing to bring that one. And that weakest of claims, yeah, technically that could go forward, but you'd probably want to wait on the whole thing, on the whole complaint. So it's possible it could go forward. It'd be really weird. It'd be more likely to be stayed or dismissed with prejudice, which is, I think, what we've been saying all along. Now, what is the timing on that? When would the federal court come up and stay the case or dismiss it with prejudice? Well, the next 60 days. So we'll see within the next 60 days whether or not this case is delayed, how long it's delayed for, what it's delayed for. Do we have a Florida lawyer on standby? Yes, that would be me. And by the way, for all the procedural fuckery I have questions on, because people like that as the thing here, I go to my good friend Stephen Gosney, who is still an active attorney down there in Florida, writing about a book every 2 minutes on Florida law. But absolutely appreciate his thoughts on this as well. So Steve Goss has been backing me up on the litigation procedure and stuff like that. But I mean, in terms of the fundamental state law, particularly the property law and the statutory law, yeah, we got this. We got this. So the important thing is that they need to go to state court to figure this out. There's no way to do this in federal court. So it says right here, the federal court thus lacks concurrent jurisdiction over the state's claims, and so it'd be an abuse of discretion for them to grant a stay. This is making a conclusion. So you're going to see the federal court bend the knee. That's what I have in terms of an update for this. You're going to see that soon. So in terms of a timeline, what are we going to see? Well, we're going to see discovery start. We're going to see discovery start on this case. So you're going to see them going through their records, right? So you're going to see Disney's emails opened up. That's going to be scary to Disney. You're also going to see, different production requests. You're going to see kind of setting for preliminary hearings. So there's going to be stuff going on, but it's going to be related to discovery in the state case because we're past the motion to dismiss phase. In the federal case, the separate federal case, you're going to see them ruling on that motion to dismiss, the motion to stay. There's also a motion to remove parties, to remove Ron DeSantis as a party. So that's something that will come up within the next 60 days. So we'll get updates on that very soon, very soon. Mark of Reality said, if you need a Florida criminal attorney, I'm your guy. Well, hey, I may be hitting you up, Mark of Reality, particularly in the future when we cover Boone or Courtney Clenny, those cases. I will definitely hit you up for that because I will be covering those ear to ear. Ear to ear. And shout out to all those who like this. And by the way, if you guys have any questions, let me know on the case. Are you confused at all on this? Do you have anything you want to know specifically about the Disney cases? Anything to get into? Any other elements that you want me to do a deep dive on? I guarantee you that as they explore, as they go deeper and deeper in terms of discovery in the state case, this is going to look worse and worse for Disney. Now, the judge themselves did say, in terms of total timeline, that this case can take 2 or 3 years. So just to be very clear, this is something that can take up to 2 or 3 years. So anybody who thinks these cases are going to move fast or these cases are going to be done tomorrow, yeah, that's not really a thing. This video has been a clip of a previous live stream, and it's clipped so you can get the information in a shorter, compact package, the information you need. If you want the full video, the whole context, the whole thing, you can check out the full stream that is in the link below. Check that out, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.